started, again, laying down onto your back. So relax yourself completely. Legs lengthened out. Shoulders tucked under, palms faced up. Relax the muscles in your face. And take a few long breaths. Just feeling the body go totally still and calm. Letting the day close off. Using this practice as a way to create a bit of separation from whatever occurred during your day. Between that and whatever you're going to experience this evening. Just let this current hour be the divide. Almost like, starting a brand new day. Right after the class, the evening is yours to wind down and to reset. So with the brow broad and the jaw unhinged, let the air flow in the nostrils. For 3, feel the stomach and the rib cage expand. For 2, continuing to inflate the torso. Pause on 1, lightly open your mouth, and then allow the air to release. For 3, try to calm the body as you let the air go. For 2, sinking yourself deeper towards the mat. On 1, do 2 more breath cycles like this. Through the nostrils, inhale. Expanding the lungs, the belly. For 2, keep inflating, feel your capacity. Pause. Open your mouth and release the air. For 3, letting all of the muscles go soft. For 2, sinking, going tender. On 1, letting it go. We'll do this one more time. Long breath in the nose. 3, ribs expand. 2, 1 more sip of air. And let it go. Let's bring some gentle movement to your fingers and your toes. And then roll the wrists and ankles so you're lubricating the wrist and the ankle joints. We'll take the arms up overhead, legs close together. With the breath in, reach the body, get as long as you can. And then exhale to relax yourself, let everything go still. Bring a bend to both knees, place the feet on the floor. And we'll shift your hips towards the right side of the mat. Left arm stays overhead, roll onto your left side using the left bicep as a pillow. Right hand on the floor in front. You can press into the right hand to shift yourself up to hands and knees. So the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees, and we'll start to warm up your spine. So with your inhale, look up towards the ceiling, move the biceps forward. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the chin to the chest and tuck your tailbone underneath, push into your hands. Let's do that again. Breathe in, slow and steady. Lift up, heart forward, biceps forward. And round in as you exhale, the chin to the chest, tail tucks, push into your palms. One more time. Breathe in, round the back, look up, tuck your toes underneath, lift the hips high to downward facing dog. We'll take a moment in downward dog, bending one knee, then bend the other. Go back and forth a few times. And bring a bend into both of your knees. Look between the hands and walk the feet up to the top of your mat, allowing your head to hang heavy in a passive fold. You can hold opposite elbows. Again, gently bend in your knees and sway the body left and right, back and forth. With a bend in both of your knees, place the hands under your thighs. Press yourself up to stand. When you're all the way up, take your hands at prayer in front of your chest. A full breath in. Interlace the fingers, the hands towards the floor as you exhale. Out the mouth, let the air go. You're gazing at one knuckle. Slow and steady. Inhale the hands forward for 3. Gradually inflate, lift the chin for 2. Keep your gaze locked, reach up, and flip the grip. Out your mouth, let it go for 3. Releasing any tension for 2. You can interlace the fingers, hands pressed down on 1. Go through a few more pranayamas. Inhale the hands forward, slow and steady expansion. Just like as we were on our back, gradual inflation till you feel full. Flip and out your mouth. Gently releasing, the shoulders softened, fingers interlaced, press down. Let's do 2 more cycles. Gradual, slow and steady. Rise up, broaden shoulders, reach up. Flip, let it go. Interlace and hands down. We're going to move through 1 more pranayama breath. Your full focus here. Steady inhales as you lift. Keeping a light engagement of low core. Flip and out your mouth. Interlace the fingers and the hands can press down towards the floor. We'll release your hands, palms faced forward. Broaden shoulders, thumbs point away. Tailbone down, ribs lift, and draw the belly in. Like we're setting the muscle memory in Tadasana. 1 more full breath in. And let it go. Shift the weight to your left foot. Open your right knee. We'll slide your right foot to the inner calf or up to the inner thigh. You're lifting the ribs, grow tall, draw the core. Hands at prayer in front of your chest. So you can lengthen the back of the neck like the roof of the mouth is striving high, and relax the muscles in your face. You can bring a bit of flexion to the standing leg. With your tailbone pointed down, navel drawn in. And just like the pranayama breaths, set the muscle memory. We'll take 1 more full breath in, and then shift your knee forward. Release the limbs as you exhale. We'll shift the weight to the right side. Open your left knee. Bring your left foot to the calf or up to the thigh. So you're rooting down into the standing foot and your hands at prayer in front of your chest. Elevate the rib cage, draw the navel in, relax the muscles in your forehead. Take 1 more breath in. Shift the knee forward and release the limbs as you exhale. Your toes come together and we'll inhale the arms wide up overhead. You can interlace your fingers and relax your shoulder blades down. With the breath in, grow nice and tall. Then lean towards your right. As you exhale, the hips press towards the left. And shift yourself back upright. Breathe in. Lean towards your left as your hips press towards your right. Let's do this again. Rise back up, inhale at center. We'll bend the knees, bend the elbows to feel a stretch in the back of your limbs. Hold there. Just give me a quick second here. I'm having a bit of problems. Okay, so we'll inhale the arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace and soften the shoulders. Take your breath, rise up high. Lean towards your right. As you exhale, your hips press towards your left. Draw the belly in, left shoulder back, and you're creating some space. And rise back up, bring a bend to the knees, bend to the elbows to stretch the back of the limbs. Rise back up, inhale, and lean towards your left, your hips press towards your right. And float yourself back up to center. Let's open the feet about hip width, fingers come down, so your arms are parallel to the floor. Take a breath in, And bend the knees to lower the seat down, then back. So your low back is lengthened, keep the belly drawn, and your weight is shifting back towards the heels. Like you're trying to split the mat apart, feeling a bit of warmth build on the sides of your hips. And as you lower the seat down, feel more warmth in the quads and your thighs. Go down further and then choose to fire the glutes, like you're trying to lift the ribs up away from the hips. We'll take one more breath. If you have a bit more depth, find it. And then press into the feet, straighten the legs. Lift the heels up to rise to tiptoes. You're staying nice and lifted, keeping the shoulders broad away from the ears. And bend into your knees. So keeping the shoulders stacked above hips, you're slowly lowering down. Your shoulders are wide. Your thighs are parallel. And again, the thighs are refired. Stay with your breath, keeping the heels lifted high. We'll begin to press into the balls of the feet to rise back up. You can take your hands towards the ceiling, so you're getting as tall as possible. And then lower the heels down, bring the arms wide and down by your sides. Shoulders up, back, and down. Bring the feet closer together, so tiptoe the feet in. Toes are touching. We'll take the arms wide up overhead. Breathe in to reach up. And move your right arm underneath your left arm to twist tie the elbows. Lower the seat down. Take your right leg up. Place the right thigh up and over the left thigh. Squeeze your legs, lift the elbows, pull the forearms. Hold here in eagle. So you're aware of the sensations in the body, feeling your upper back, the rhomboids. Maybe a bit more depth, a bit more lowering of the hips. Let's stay here, one more breath cycle. And then we'll begin to lift the top leg up and over, toes together, arms wide overhead, palms connect above. Shift yourself to the next side. Move your left arm underneath your right arm, twist high elbows. Lift up, hips down, and your left leg rises up and over. You're moving towards balance, feeling the standing foot. Trying to balance the weight on all four corners, but then lifting the ribs up away. Lifting the elbows, gently pulling to feel a broadening of the shoulder blades. If you have a little bit more depth, you can find it, feeling your standing thigh. And then we'll lift your top leg up and over, toes together, arms wide up overhead, palms connect above. Take your hands to prayer in front of your chest. And a full breath in. Then bend the knees to lower the seat down and back. Lengthen your spine, breathe in. We'll twist towards your left, moving the right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. Hips stay low, navel drawn in. You're gently twisting, even looking up towards the ceiling. Staying low in the seat, weight towards the heels. Let's take one more inhale and face the floor with your exhale. Press your feet to rise up, arms to the ceiling, look up. Lean back, press the hips forward. Take a breath, lift the heart. So find your gentle back bend, a bit of vibration in the body. And rise back up, hands to prayer in front of your chest. Full breath in. Lower the seat, down and back. Let's lengthen your spine. We'll twist towards the right. Your left elbow can move to the outside of your right thigh. So hips low, belly drawn, left hip back, heart forward. 3. Continuing to breathe for 2. You can twist yourself to face the floor. On 1, we'll root the feet to rise, arms up high. Breathe in, then take your arms wide. Hands to the low back behind you. Again, palms face the lumbar spine. You can look up, you can lift the heart, move the elbows close and tilt. Glutes engaged. Gaze right up towards the ceiling. 3 breaths. And begin to float yourself back upright. Arms released by your sides. Give the arms a little shake. Your feet can move about hip width. Let's place the hands onto your hips. We'll bring a gentle bend to the knees. Lift the sternum, and then hinge forward with a flat back. So your gaze stays up, ribs stay lifted. And when you finally feel like you've hit the edge of the range in the back of your thighs, then fold forward, releasing the low back. And come right down. Back of the neck relaxed. You want to be passive to start, maybe holding opposite elbows. And gently sway back and forth. Rocking your torso, shifting from one foot to the other. And release the hands to the floor. You can take a deep bend in both knees. Shoot the right foot back. So your fingertips have framed your left foot. And when you're ready, you can press into your left foot to rise up. Thumbs point away, sternum forward. You're keeping the core drawn in, your back thigh is fired, your front hip is back. So again, thumbs away, shoulder blades connect behind you. You're bending deeply into the front knee. Maintaining a long line from right heel to crown of head. Let's take one more inhale. Hands can come down and frame the front foot. We'll bend your back knee, spring the back foot forward. Lengthen your spine, breathe in. And fold as you breathe out. Let's do that one more time. Lengthen up, take a breath, we'll bend the knees. Hands down, left foot all the way back. Just take a moment here to get comfortable in this long lunge place. And when you feel ready, you can press into your right foot to rise up. Thumbs point away, rib cage strives forward. Your back thigh is fired, the right glute is back into its socket. And again, you're lengthening the line from the left heel to crown of head, lifting the ribs away from the pelvis. Perhaps moving shoulder blades closer, triceps even engage as the hands lift. Let's take one more inhale. And the hands down to the floor, shift your right foot back, downward dog. Yeah, downward dog, just for a moment. Bend one knee, bend the other knee, pedal it out. Maybe give one leg a shake, then give the other leg a shake. With the bend in both knees. Between the hands, you can walk your feet up to the top of your mat. So you're in a passive fold. Little bend in both knees. Hands on hips, flat back. Breathe in. Stand upright as you exhale. Bend both knees, right foot back. Angle the back foot 45 degrees. Hips are faced forward. Arms through and up. Vira 1. Bend your left knee. Root your right heel. Tailbone down, ribs shift up, and then broaden your shoulder blades. And long, smooth breaths. Again, setting muscle memory. Normalizing all the sensations, aware of where you feel it. Lean a bit deeper to those spots. And we'll straighten your left leg. Lift and open warrior two. Back foot walks away. And bend a bit deeper into your front knee. Again, the arms are reaching and you're looking forward. Finding more depth, feeling the edge of the pelvic floor beneath. Just going to check the video to be sure it's working. Okay, let's flip the hands to face forward. We'll bring your front forearm down, back arm up. Look towards the ceiling. So your front forearm can absorb some weight, or you can press gently into the front thigh to help you twist. Perhaps pulling the feet closer to feel the inner thighs. And we'll take just one more full inhale here. Look down to the floor as you exhale, and then press into the front foot to begin rising back up to warrior two. Take a full inhale, and complete exhale. Flip the front hand in reverse. Front arm up, back hand thigh or low back. Expand the side of the body. Take one more inhale, and make your way back up, warrior two. Let's flip the back hand. Let it face the ceiling. Breathe in. We'll cartwheel all the way forward. Hands frame the front foot, bend the back knee, spring the back foot up to the top of your mat. Feet together, top of mat, long spine. And fold, exhale. Hands under the hips. Lengthen. Inhale, draw the belly in. Stand upright as you exhale. Knees bent, left foot. 3/4 of the way back, setting up for warrior one. So the back heel is rooted down, both hips are forward, arms through and up. Bend the front knee, press the back heel, tailbone down, ribs lift, and broaden your shoulders. 3 breaths. And we'll straighten the front leg. Lift and open, warrior two, back foot walks away, bend the front knee, face forward. Just slow and steadily playing with your edge, easing your way down towards a bit more, lowering the hips, lifting the ribs, broadening the upper back, letting the traps go. And take a long breath. Palms can open up. We'll take the front forearm down, back hand to the ceiling. Look up towards your thumb. You're squeezing the feet closer, lifting the top hip. Let's take one more breath in. And your gaze down to the floor. Press the front foot. Rise yourself up. Warrior two. Stay here. Inhale. And complete exhale. Flip the front hand to face the ceiling. Dance it back, breath in, your back hand to the thigh or low back, expand the side of your body. We'll take one more inhale here. And shift back up, Vira two, as you exhale. Pause there for a breath. Hands move on to hips. We can straighten front leg, pivot the toes inward. Toes are in, heels are open. You can gently bend your knees, lift the heart up, and then we'll hinge forward with a flat back. So you can keep your gaze forward, look up. Slowly, steadily making your way down, a little bend in the knees, weight to the front of the toes, like the ball of the foot. And keep the ribs lifted, the hamstrings at their edge. When you're ready, fold forward. About 3 breaths. There's lots of variations of wide leg forward fold. So if you feel like playing around, go for it. And when you're ready, the hands come right to the mat in front of the face. We'll walk hands top of mat, front foot back of mat, Down dog. Bend right, bend left. We'll move through a modified flow to begin to warm the back muscles. But start by rising up to high plank. Top of a push-up, navel drawn in, biceps forward, broad in the upper back. Your thighs are still strong. Grip the floor. If you need knees down, do your thing. Let's take a breath in, and then bend the elbows for 3, slowly making your way down. For 2, keep the hips lifted, shoulder blades back. Touch down on 1, 3 baby cobras. Peel the ribs, thighs are fired. And lower down as you exhale. 2 more times. Ribs up, hands can lift. And lower. 1 more. Back down. Press the knees, lift the hips, push the hands, make your way to table. Toes tuck, hips up, downward dog. Stay there, take a full inhale. And out your mouth, let it go. Bend the knees. Move the hands back to the feet. Once you're all the way back, you can scoop the toes, maybe standing all the way up to the wrist crease. Your knees can stay bent as much as you need, and gradually lifting hips up towards the ceiling. 3 breaths. And let it go. Release. You can use the hands to walk up the legs. Slow and steady, rise yourself to stand. When you're all the way up, shoulders to ears. Back and down. Hands on hips. We'll bend your knees. Let's take a step forward with your left foot, coming into a couple balancing poses. Lift the right heel up, grow tall, lean in, right foot off the floor. Inhales to lengthen, and exhales to hinge. Hands can float by the sides when you're ready. You're pointing the thumbs away, keeping the low belly drawn in, really rooting into the standing foot. Like you're trying to lift your standing hip while lifting the inner right thigh. 3, 2. Begin to move the right knee through on 1. So you can lift the right knee up. Take a breath in. We'll extend your right heel forward. And 1 more inhale. Then bend the right knee, place the foot on the floor, hands back on the hips. Lean in, breathe in, lean forward. Left foot off the ground. Inhales, lengthen. And exhales, hinge. And when you are ready, hands by your sides. Three breaths. And on the last one, we'll begin to shift the back knee through. Start to lift your left knee up. And again, extend the heel forward. Take 1 more inhale. Bend the knee, foot on the floor, and give your body a little shake. We'll keep your weight into your left foot, coming into dancer's pose. Left foot stays on the floor, arms back up. Right hand comes back, bend the right knee. Pick up the inside of your right foot. And kick your right foot down and back. Three breaths. And begin to move the knees back together. Release limbs. Shake it off before making your way to the next side. Right foot to the floor, arms back up. Left hand back, bend left knee, capture inside of left foot. Left knee down, right hand up. Kick down and back. with control. So to move the back knee through. Release it, give it a shake, shoulder shrug, and make your way to the floor. So we're coming to your back. If you want to grab a sip of water on the way down, go for it. You're shifting to midway Shavasana. So take your time to get there. We'll be about 5 breaths or so. Palms up, hips open, and smoothly let the breath calm. Notice the heartbeat. And try to slow both of these down. We'll move the right knee towards the chest, fingers over right shin. Ease the right leg closer to your body. Perhaps little rotations with your hips. And lengthen out the right leg. And bring the left knee in. Fingers over left shin. And you're easing your left leg closer to you. Maybe light circles with your left leg. Lengthen left leg out. And relax your body. Let it go. Breathe deep. Your feet back on the floor, the heels close to glutes. Press the feet to lift your hips up, warming the back of the legs. You can point the tailbone away, providing more space for the lumbar spine and an engagement in the glute muscles. 3 breaths. We'll slowly come down, vertebrae by vertebrae, bone by bone. Once the hips are down, take the right heel towards the ceiling. A breath in, move the right ankle onto your left thigh. Thread the needle, left foot off the floor, fingers behind left hamstring or left shin. So your shoulders are back, hips are down, and rock left and right. Lower the left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor, next side. Take the left heel to the ceiling, bit of a shake. Left ankle on right thigh. When you're ready, thread the needle, right foot up, hands behind the thigh or shin. And light rocking left and right. Right foot down, left foot down, lengthen legs. Take a moment in Shavasana just to calm yourself, to center the body, to chill. Feet back on the floor. Feet off the ground, shins parallel to the mat, hands onto the thighs. You should not see your big toes. If you see your feet, lower them. As you push the low back down, hands press into your thighs, so the low belly begins to fire up. Again, low back pushing, legs pulling, hands resist. 3, vibration deep within. Find more activation for 2. And then we'll lower the feet down on 1. Knees left and right, back and forth. Let's do one more set. So when you're back at center, your feet can lift back up, your hands can move back onto the thighs. Perhaps the feet a bit further this time to target the low abdomen more. And again, pushing low back down, hands press thighs, thighs resist. Feel the shake for 3. Keep playing with it for 2. And lower the feet down. Again, back and forth. Windshield wiper the knees. When the knees are back at center, your hips shift a bit to the right, left arm overhead, roll onto your left side. With the right hand on the floor, start to straighten up the legs and shift onto your stomach. We're moving into spine strengthening. Chin stays on the floor. You can walk the legs away to provide more space for the lumbar spine. Palms are face down. Thighs can fire up. So you're pushing the tops of the feet to the ground. Lift the chin, lift the ribs, perhaps lift the hands. So you're feeling your whole back body work. 3, 2, and lower the chin down. So chin touches, hands back behind you. Interlace the fingers behind the low back. Your toes are still together. Lift the chin, ribs, hands up, feet, knees, thighs up. As your hands are lifting, your shoulders feel an opening. 3, 2, and lower down on 1. Look right, hands by your sides, release. And long breaths to feel a shift in the back body. Bring the chin back on the floor and take a bend of the knees. You can reach back to grab the outsides of your feet. Chin, ribs up, kick back, floor bow. So your toes are reaching high. You could even lift the chin. Smooth rounding of the spine. I'll take one more breath to lift. And lower yourself down. Look left. Release. Soft breaths. Chin back on the floor, palms back down, push the knees, lift the hips, press your hands. Rise yourself, hands and knees. Knees can walk up, you're gripping the mat, toes tuck, hips up, down dog. Full breath in, and complete exhale. Rise to high plank. So you're welcome to stay here, or you could lower the knees down. We'll take one more breath in. Then bend the elbows for 3, slowly making your way towards the mat. For 2, keep the hips lifted, elbows back, and touch down on 1. Baby cobra, peel your ribs. Back muscles work, you can press the knees, lift the hips, tuck your toes, downward dog. Full inhale, and out your mouth. Let's go through 3 more flows. Rise to high plank, breathe in. You're welcome to do the full flow this time. So your elbows bend, lower yourself to a hover. And your ribs come through to upward dog. Inhale. Your hips go high to downward dog. Exhale. Stay for a breath cycle. Rise up, high plank. Lower to your degree. Lift the ribs, breathe in. Lift the hips, breathe out. Take 1 more breath. And then you're welcome to do 1 more version, 1 more variation of the flow, or child's pose. We'll be meeting in child's pose. And just 1 more breath before you make your way back if you haven't already. Then rise up. Hands and knees. Walk the knees right up to the top of the mat. Knees behind the wrists. Toes together. Take a seat. We'll bring the hands behind your back, moving to sleeping hero. Hands can walk away. Maybe elbows shift down. You're slowly and steadily making your way towards your variation of sleeping hero. So if you're on your elbows, great. If you're on your hands, awesome. As long as you're getting sensation to the front of your body, the quadriceps, the psoas muscle, maybe even the low abdomen. So play with lifting your hips up. Maybe lightly rocking the hips left and right. We'll move the hands underneath the ankles. Press your elbows. Shift yourself up. Once you are up, take your hands onto the mat in front and walk yourself back. Downward dog counters the previous. So you're coming to downward dog. And again, movement, whatever feels right. Bending a knee, then the other, maybe lifting a leg and lifting the other leg. Let's lower the knees down. We'll come to camel pose. So you're standing up on the knees. We'll take your hands, bring them to your low back. Look up, lift the heart, elbows close, and lean back. Perhaps a hand to heel, then the other hand as the hips press forward and the heart lifts. You're looking right up at the roof. And one hand, low back, rise up. We'll keep your toes tucked under, come back to the heels. Use your fingers to be sure the pinkies are also tucked. Hands on thighs, palms faced up, close your eyes. And deep breaths. If ever you're feeling like this is overwhelming, like your feet are feeling rocked and you're like having some problems with this, hands on thighs or hands on the floor. For some people, they like this pose better with the hands on the ground. And then if you lean a little bit back, like the heels are moving back and the knees lift off the mat, you could play with that as well. Look for the spot that feels most beneficial to you. About 3 more breaths. Finish off, take the hands back onto the ground in front, untuck the toes and tap the tops of your feet just to get some new blood flow in. And with your hands near the top of the mat, we'll move your left knee right up behind your left wrist. You can angle the front shin by moving your left foot forward. Eventually, the left shin would be parallel to the top of the mat. No worries if that's too far for today. For those who are there, you can take the right hand, almost anchoring down behind the left heel, and then walk your left leg back. Keep your hips forward. So if anything, you're pulling your left hip back and pressing your right hip forward. Think of the sternum moving forward, shifting towards king pigeon. And whenever you've made your way to the edge with your left hip off the mat, take a breath. And eventually making your way for the full pigeon with the elbow down, one at a time, towards the mat. And once you've made your way to the edge of your pose, take like 5 long breaths. And whenever you feel complete, one hand on the ground and the other, come up. We'll tuck your back toes underneath and lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. Left leg up high, gently open at the hip. Level back off, place your left foot back down. Next side, knees come down to the floor. We'll walk your right knee right up behind your right wrist. Angle the front shin. Again, you could use your left hand to move the leg up, so your right shin and the top of the mat are parallel. You could use your left hand or fist behind the right ankle, and then walk the left leg back. So you're moving the heart forward. Feeling the edge under the right hip, maybe wiggling, leaning weight to play with the sensation. Whenever you're ready for pigeon pose, you're welcome to lower the elbows, making your way down towards the mat. And one hand at a time. Start to make your way out. You can tuck your left toes underneath. We'll take your right leg up to the ceiling. Breath in to lift the right leg up and open the hip. Level back off, your right foot back down. This is your last shot for a flow if you want to take one. And then lower the knees down. Cross the ankles to take a seat. We'll bring the legs out in front. The right leg first, lengthened out. Left foot, inner right thigh. So again, the right leg is long, left foot touches the inner thigh. The right hand can come down, or the right elbow all the way down. Left arm up. Lean towards the right leg, perhaps left hand behind the head. 3 breaths. And rise yourself back upright. Shift your body so you're facing the right thigh, so the right hip could move back. And we'll move your foot up and over, giving the bent knee thigh a hug. So you're pulling the bent knee thigh closer to your body. And your hand could move down to the floor behind just for a gentle twist, looking over the shoulder. But then counter. So back to center and the other way. And face back forward, next side. We'll lengthen out your other leg, bringing the foot to the inner thigh. So the same leg that's long, that hand down or elbow down. And look up to the ceiling as you reach. Lean towards the lengthened leg, maybe the hand behind the head. Take 3 breaths. And begin to shift yourself out. So rise yourself back up. Shift the body so you're facing the long leg. Then we'll take the bent knee, that foot up and over. Hug your thigh as you lift your ribs. The hand can move down to the ground behind, maybe a gentle twist. And back to center, counter twist other way. Then we'll face back forward. The heels together, bring them right up close to your pelvis. Grow nice and tall with the ribs, the sternum forward and fold over the feet. Relax here. And then walk yourself back up. We'll place the hands on the knees, close the legs, give your shins a hug, chin tucks, lean back. Release, place the hands to the floor and shift your hips forward so you're walking yourself up the mat. Lay onto your back. Just gently press the hips to lift, hips back down. And lengthen yourself out into final Shavasana. So your hips go heavy, the feet flop open. The muscles in the face are calm. You're letting everything fall. Just aware of the sensations in the body, feeling out what's going on. Think about what tingles. You could notice the firmest locations on the back body, the spots that are absorbing the most weight. You're analyzing each of the pressure points, feeling them out, making the decision. Back of the head, shoulder blades, your low back, the hips, the glutes. Maybe it feels like the heels. And maintain this state of observation. Feeling the airflow. The ribs shift, maybe even noticing the cloth on your skin as you breathe. You're very welcome to maintain this current position, coming into your Shavasana, practicing the sense of inner quiet, calm, relaxation. I want to thank you all for joining this evening. Thank you for your participation, your commitment to your own wellness, your desire to stay healthy and alert. I wish you all a very pleasant evening. The light in me acknowledges and bows to the light in you. Namaste.